Good morning, and welcome to Church on the Net. Hope you're having a great day. Here in North Carolina, we're in a new season of getting really hot during the day and cold at night. And the rain has started. God is so good. Today I want to talk to you about something very dear to my heart, and I don't think many people put the spin on it like I want to today. We're talking about in Matthew, I believe it's in 18, but it's Peter when he gets out and walks on water, and then looks around him and begins to fail and calls for Christ, and Christ gets him up and saves him. Sometimes we dwell too much on failure in our lives and not on the good things. Winston Churchill once said, real success is going from failure to failure with enthusiasm. In our world we live in today, Christian men are looked down upon. And that simply doesn't have to be your life song. You see, failure is a part of life. God knows that. That's why we have redemption. That's why we have grace. What are you still blaming yourself for? I pray for our Christian men today, as they seem to be a resource that's going away more and more. What will you do from your past to make your future brighter? See, Peter, they were all in the boat, and Jesus stayed on shore. And so he just walked across the water to come to the boat. They saw him off in the distance, and they thought it was a ghost. Peter, who usually talked before he thought, called out to him and said, if you're Jesus, then tell me to come to you. And what would Jesus do but say, okay, come. And at first, he went out. At first, he jumped right on there. Then he realized he was walking on water, on the waves at that. And he began to sink. And Jesus was close enough that he pulled him out of the water. And of course, when they all got back in the boat, this was an object lesson. But I'm telling you what, those object lessons would get your attention, wouldn't they? So, do we concentrate on our failures or our successes? Sometimes it may depend on how you were raised. It may depend on how the people around you treat you. DLM started in 1995 with the need for my youth group boys, I felt, to take the pressure off and have a place to go to talk, to vent. Specifically after meeting with one young man, a very strong, physically, mentally, emotionally young man, from a really good family who was very entrenched in the church. But he was very privately going to commit suicide because he couldn't deal with the pressure. The pressure of life, the pressure of grades, the pressure of getting the good points in games, not enjoying anything. On top of that, he had made a mistake and thought he was condemned to hell already. Not looking at forgiveness. And after he heard that you're not going to die and go to hell, And it doesn't have to be that hard. He broke down crying because that was the first relief he had gotten in a long time. He had loving, strong parents that loved him a lot, but he couldn't disappoint them. He couldn't let them down. And it was no fault of their own. I know them. They were good people. Men needed a release. Now we've had women in our program, and we do currently have girls and women in our program, because you see, that's just what the devil wanted, to control them too, and to own them too, to whisper lies to them about the Lord. In 30-some years of ministry, I still hear the lies that men hear all the time. Lies of people tell them that try to control them. God is the only one who needs to control you. And if you let him control you, everything else will work out. Even in times when it doesn't seem normal, doesn't seem right, you've done your best, and it still all goes to pot. You know, it's not easy walking this walk. It's not easy living the life that the Lord has chosen for us, but it's easier with him than without him. Now, we've had all ages in our program, and we've had about 1,500. I had a gentleman the other day make some accusations against the program. The way he felt. I can't help the way he feels. They just were not truths. And one person getting it wrong doesn't make it wrong when 1,500 have gotten it right. And there's many people still with the program, repeating the program in their own way, in several ways. See, we can't be responsible for everybody. I try to love everybody. Try to take a message to everybody. Try to make things affordable, and I care more or less about you learning and doing the right thing than anything else, as we are struggling sometimes. And I'm on disability and can't really work yet, but I'm going to try to find something to make sure that we can do everything we can, and I don't have to be begging for money anymore. It's the worst part of my, we'll call it job, or the ministry, is that. But I will do it if it means one soul coming to the Lord in a real way, or somebody who's hungry getting food, or somebody who's homeless spending the night in a shelter, or somebody needing material, getting a Bible in their hand or a study book. I just believe in trying to meet the needs of people. It's Jesus calling me out of the boat to walk on water. And I don't do so well all the time. I sometimes worry and begin to sink, and he has never stopped rescuing me. I know people, not people, I have a few people that will complain about me preaching tithing all the time, because it's such an important principle that I learned late. I learned very late. I knew it. I was taught it. I just didn't believe it. I made excuses, and there's so many excuses out there for tithing, not tithing. There are, and they're all empty. And there's so many verses out there for tithing. But you don't experience the blessing of it until you get it. And many people will never get it. I just want to make sure that I'm responsible enough to do my best so that I don't get called on the carpet when I see him face to face. And listen, people, I do what I do to go to heaven partially, yes. But walking with the Lord every day is enough. I don't know what I would do without him, with the stuff that I have to go through. But I'm not interested in a mansion in heaven. If I get a little tent inside the door, inside the gate, I'm happy. Just to be able to embrace Christ is enough for me. And often I've wondered if I haven't missed the mark somewhere. But every time I think that, he answers my prayer by tugging my heart back to him when I see or hear of somebody who nobody really likes. And I see that they need Jesus, or they're too involved in themselves. Or they fit the stereotype, the typical male stereotype that is preached to us by the world all the time. Got to be able to see above that and see the child of God within. That's not always easy. Very rarely is it easy. But it's still there. What do you need to get out of the boat for? I put out those little calling all prayer warriors because I really want you to pray. I know that a lot of people do support from those, and that's fine. But the real answer is in the Lord and him providing, which he always does. He always does. Sometimes it's scary. I do believe, I'm not sure, but I do believe we've lost a larger donor who was given quite a bit every month, and we haven't received anything from him this month at all. Now, the month's not over yet. I get it. But it is a bit of a shock. However, our 25 prayer partner gifts are coming in, and people are joining that, because $25 isn't much for the month to see people come to Christ and grow. See, normally when guys in our program are sad they're doing something wrong or they're embarrassed, they quit talking to me, which is a knife right in the heart. Some say cruel things to support their own views. Some are afraid, and some point blank just don't like what I have to say, because I stand behind the Bible. I stand behind his word and the 66 books that he gave to us, nothing else. I hope you find your place and that you can get out of the boat and walk with him. I hope someday that if you believe in our ministry enough, you can help support it. I'm 60 years old now. I always pray that it will continue after I'm gone, but I don't know. Our fall retreat is coming up this year. I pray that you would ask that you would pray for the guys that go to it. All are welcome, and we still have some free spots available. It's October 25th, 23rd, and 24th. You just have to get there. Also, if you'd like to help sponsor that retreat, that's a possibility too. Until then, love each other and get out of the boat. Love Jesus and walk to him. What is he calling you to do? Be the man or woman of God that he wants you to be. Read, tithe, and pray. Stay humble, stay kind, stay reachable, stay teachable. I love you all. God bless.